So today we are looking at the CNC machine used to make the mold for the carbon fiber parts. So over here, this CNC is currently preparing the mold for this one. And on another room, we have another one which is doing also another part at the same time. This speeds up the process. However, for parts which don't require too much accuracy, they are actually using also 3D printers. So they have actually several different ways to prepare the mold according to the final result requirement. Then once the mold is finished, the next step will be to put the carbon fiber and stick into it. Now we are going to go to the other room to check. So let's go to the other room to see what we do with the carbon fiber now on a already set mold. Over here we have a lot of interesting machinery. We are going to talk about it a little bit later. Let's first go to check the next step. So now what we do is using the carbon fiber source ingredient, which is this one over here. Once we take this out, we can put it directly to the mold. And the final result will be something like this. So now the carbon fiber is just sticking to the mold. However, it's not possible to separate from the mold while keeping the resistance of the real carbon fiber that we use on the car. So how the process happens is, we can see it over here. They stick the carbon fiber on the mold and then use the heat like this to make sure it stitches. And then they cut the extra parts until the mold has been covered entirely. After that, the mold with the carbon fiber on it will have to be set into a special machine to make it set and get the specific resistance that the carbon fiber has. So let's see how the process happens here. See, they heat it a little bit and then it sticks. Then they proceed to smooth it to make sure that it has the characteristic texture of the mold. So this process requires a lot of accuracy and patience. It's not something that is that quick. This is the machinery used to make the carbon fiber. So this is the system loading up, and they produce vacuum in order to make sure that the mold and the carbon fiber can separate later. In this moment there is nothing inside, but the boss is showing us how to operate the machine a little bit. So here we have some meters to check the vacuum state. Okay, so how the procedure works is after we insert the mold with the carbon fiber stick to it into this machine, we control the machine to set up into 5 different phases the temperature and the amount of pressure it needs to use. So in average, the temperature is like 135 degrees and the pressure is 3 kPa. We can monitor the pressure also over here, but since we have this machinery with the software, it's much more simple. And in total, it will take about 1 hour and a half to finish sticking the carbon fiber into the mold. So once we put our carbon fiber with the mold inside this machine, it will take 1 hour and a half, and then we can take it out. Okay? So this machine is used to create voids. So by playing with the pressure inside the machine, we can produce the carbon fiber without having to use very high temperatures. So it's just 100 and something degrees, but the pressure is actually very different from the normal pressure we have. And then the final result is something like this, where this mold and the carbon fiber on it can be separated. So normally they use something like a big screwdriver like this one to just use as a lever and then remove it. Now I'm not going to destroy it, but as you see here, it's already can remove it like this. And over here, it has already been removed a little bit. So once it's been removed, it goes to the next procedure. If you see now, it's not that smooth yet. It needs some more refinishing. Let's see how it's done. So in this process, they are going to cut the corner of the carbon fiber which is extra from the mold. So after cutting the corners, the next step is to smooth it and clean it. So this is the next step. What we are doing here is to clean it and smooth it up. In total, it may take about 3 or 4 times, in the best case, to clean it entirely. So actually, refinishing is a big part of the procedure. It actually is one that which takes most of the time.
然后滴到喷完了，又干了之后，明天就拿过来要打磨，把它滴这磨平，然后再喷一次。
OK，
然后再拿过来再磨，然后再喷一次，然后最后出来像这样的毛坯，然后打磨，那这样的已经是平整度已经可以的了，就是只要最后一道工序是这样，把表面磨好，然后就在里面抛光。
明白。So the refinishing procedure will have to be repeated a lot of times until the part is entirely smoothed out and it's reached this final quality level. However, sometimes even after several attempts to clean it and smooth it, it will require a little bit more trials. So normally, in average, from the beginning till the end, it takes 1 week to reach this kind of level. So although the actual part where it's the carbon fiber is inside the machine is just 1 hour and a half, the work that takes after it to make sure the part is of the highest quality, it takes about a week in total. So here we have different carbon fiber parts from different cars. Here we do Ferrari, Lamborghini, McLaren mostly, but also Rolls-Royce. And there is a lot of different parts made on the basis of the original carbon fiber parts. So we have, for example, the McLaren 675 MSO that we are going to get for our car today. We are going to see later. So the last procedure is smooth it with the machine over here. This is the last part just before shipment to make sure it has that kind of finishing. Then here we have also something else, not just the bumpers and outside parts, but also inside parts and also seats, for example. So these are the Senna seats. The factory only focuses on carbon fiber, so they don't offer the pads and all the cushions. These ones are made by other factories, but you can see that those seats are made on the highest quality possible. And in terms of weight, they're actually very light. I guess they're not going to be more than 5 kilo, probably less. So now we're going to ask one question, which is how to distinguish high-level carbon fiber from low-level carbon fiber. Like, we know that the price is very different, but how do we actually recognize if the carbon fiber we paid so much money for is actually that valuable? We are going to ask somebody who is much more professional than us. These are custom carbon fiber key cover for McLaren.
Mm. 重量咯。
啊，重量不一样是肯定的，对吧？
对，你可以感受一下这个重量，还有这个重量。
哦，称一称，这个轻多了。
对，要敲起来声音。就看表面这个纹路，看起来就立体感比较强。是吧？也很清晰，那纹路很整齐，那这种格子每一个都很整齐。对。你看到这种就是
已经
两个对比一下，
没有那么完美的。So if we check the difference of quality, over here we have a much more smooth surface, and if we check the details, it looks very even. But when we go to make the same check on a different quality one, you will notice that here is not that clear. So this particular may be difficult to notice if you're not in front of it. Another important thing is the sound it makes when you touch it like this. And then here. So as you see, the sound is also very important. Another thing that you can check more easily is the exact weight. So the weight, depending on the carbon fiber quality, will be higher or lower. The higher the quality, the lower the weight. This is the most simple way. As long as you have a reference weight, you can easily notice if your carbon fiber parts have a high quality or lower. Just ask people to weigh for you. This one is very big, but actually super light. This is for Tesla.
你看，像如果是这抽电功能大的话，这种的重量是很重的。
那肯定的。但是如果
起码都四五倍吧，应该这重量。
但是这个省轻的，正常的情感没有那么轻，没有那么简单。
哎，这个硬度我们是达到的。哦，就比那种硬度还要好。
这个改烟是你们自己做的吗？
这个底漆，这个是那个底漆我们
啊，这个是底漆啊，这个也是你们自己做的。
对，我们出货就是这样的标准，
全一道都是。
这所有的那底漆